Question 10 from 1705 talks about a field, and the field, I'll try and draw the field roughly. Here we go. And we're told it has a perimeter of 170 meters. In other words, this side plus this side plus this side plus this side is 170. And I'm just going to call, let's call this side A and this side A, because they must be the same side. This is going to be B and this is going to be B. And by doing that, we know that A and B, or if you like, 2A plus 2B is going to be equal to 170. So let's simplify that a little bit. If I factorize that, I get 2 lots of A plus B is equal to 170. And if I divide both sides by 2, I get A plus B is 170 on 2. Oh, 170 on 2, which would be 85. Let's make that 85. Just make that easy for ourselves. All right, so now we also know that we have a diagonal, or the other diagonal as well. We have 2 diagonals. The diagonal with it is going to be 65 meters. And of course, because this is a rectangle, we know that these must be right angles in the corner. So really what we have here is a triangle, a right angle triangle. And we could actually use Pythagoras at this point, because we know that c squared, and let's just call this side C, we know that c squared, all right, so you can see it, c squared is equal to a squared plus b squared. So we've got this a plus b is 85. Well, let's actually separate this out a little bit. Let's subtract b from both sides. So now a is going to be 85 minus b. And rather than writing a here, I could actually substitute, rather than putting an a and then squaring it, I could take a, which is now 85 minus b, because a is 85 minus b, and substitute that into here. Also, we know that c squared, well, 65 squared, that would be using the plus 1 method. It's 65 times 65, which is 4,225, is equal to a squared, which is 85 minus b, times 85 minus b, and then, of course, on the end, we've got this plus b squared. Now, this is nice and simple now, because we know that 85 times 85, using the plus 1 method, would be 7,225. So I've got 4,225 is equal to 7,225. Then I've got b times b, or negative b times negative b, is going to be plus b squared. I've got negative 85b and another negative 85b, which is going to be plus 170. Or sorry, what am I doing? Minus 170b plus b squared. All right, so now we're in a situation to simplify this a little bit, and this is where life becomes really simple. Because if I took 4,225 off both sides, I'll take 4,225 off both sides, 4,225. It's getting a little bit cramped here, but you'll get the idea. So this is now equal to 0. So I'm actually going to restate this, and I'd like to keep the equals under each other, and I haven't planned this out very well, but let's do that now. Yes, I'll just give myself a little bit more room here. So let's go ahead and do that. So let's call this, 7,225 minus 4,225 is going to be 3,000. We've also got a b squared and a b squared. Well, a b squared and a b squared is going to be 2b squared. So I'm going to cross those two out, and I'm going to write, oops, so you can see what I'm doing. So I've got 2b squared, there it is. And what else have I got? Minus 170b, minus 170b. So I'll get rid of the minus 170b. And I've got, this comes to, 3,000. So that's plus 3,000 equals 0. I haven't left myself much room on that side. But I could divide all of this by 2. So let's do that now. Divide that by 2 and divide this by 2. So now I'm going to end up with, b squared minus 85b plus 1,500 is equal to 0. All right. So we're looking for factors of 1,500 that add or subtract to give 85. So let's factorize that, knowing that. So I've got a b and a b. Signs are the same. They're both going to be negative, and they both equal to 0. The whole thing equals 0. So what would that be? 85 and 600. 25 and 60 should do it. 65. Yes, that would be good. All right, so we've got 2 factors. So either b So I'll put here either B is going to be equal to 25 or B is going to equal 60. So let's see if that makes sense. So could either of those two work? Well, the answer is both could work, and that means that when we come to look at our sides here, the smaller side is going to have to be 25, and the larger side is going to have to equal 60. And that makes sense because 2 lots of 60 and 2 lots of 25 is in fact 170. So we've just found the length of the sides. There they are, and that works out very nicely when it comes to looking at the overall perimeter of 170. So our solution is 25 and 60.